Plan to protest? Watch this video. The right to protest in the United States is a fundamental right protected by the First Amendment of the Constitution. You have the right to peacefully assemble, march, create signs and slogans, even if they're provocative, and have the right to go out in the public and protest for your cause and whatever you're passionate about. Where can I protest? By and large, you can protest on private property if you are given permission by the person that owns that property. Or you can protest in a public area, such as a sidewalk, a public street, a park, and other town squares and other facilities like this. However, if you are planning to block traffic or block the flow of people, then in those circumstances, you might have to get a permit in order to do that specific type of protest. The First Amendment protects most forms of free speech. However, if your free speech can be interpreted as being an imminent threat of violence or danger, then that speech is not protected by the First Amendment, and the police can take action to arrest you, to detain you, in order to prevent an action of potential violence or threat from being played out. It's important to remember that you have the right to chant, to drum, to dance, to march, to do symbolic speeches, to do prayers, and all types of free speech. But if your speech crosses the line and is an imminent threat of violence or danger or a threat to do that, then this is speech that the police can get involved in, can arrest you for, and can detain you for. You do not need to have a permit in order to protest. Many people believe that if you're going to protest, you have to get a permit. Some cities have noise ordinances and other ordinances that they use in order to block off roads or block off traffic in order for protesters to march, especially on the street. However, you do not have to get a permit in order to protest and to express your fundamental right. You do not have to contact the police beforehand and tell them that you're going to be in such and such a place if you do not want to do so. And it is important for you to understand that you do not need a permit to protest in a public space. While protesting, you might interact with the police and they might stop you. If you're stopped by the police, ask them calmly, am I free to go? Are you detaining me? If they say no, then calmly just walk away from that situation. All of us, we have the right to go to protest and record everything that's going on, including the work that the police department is doing. The police cannot stop you from recording their work as they are monitoring the protest. If they're telling people where to go in a protest, you have the right to record all that, and this is a fundamental right that you have. Do not stop recording if you're at a protest. Even if the police tell you to stop recording, you have the right to record what the police are doing and also in general what's happening in the protest. The police's main job at a protest is to protect your right to be out there and express your constitutional right to protest. The second is to de-escalate any situation that are going on and to neutralize threats of violence that might happen in these protests as well. It's important to note that sometimes the police department might be the ones actually causing these issues in a protest. If they are, remember, you have the right to record those police officers and of course to file a complaint against the police department after the protest is over. If you get arrested at a protest, you have the right to remain silent. Why? Because anything you say can and it will be used against you in the court of law. If you are arrested while protesting, you should remain silent. Do not argue with the police, do not say anything, and importantly, do not sign any document whatsoever. If you get arrested and booked and are sent down to the processing facility by the police, don't talk and demand for your right to a phone call. Contact an attorney and tell them about the situation that you're in and to get representation. It is important to note that law enforcement does not have the right to listen into your phone call with legal counsel. It is against the law for the police department to take your phone and delete any content on your phone. So if you're recording the police, and let's say you record something that might be damaging to the police or the reputation, and the officer takes your device, they are not allowed to enter into your device and delete the recording or any information that you have on your device. It is important to note that the police are there to police a situation, including a protest. They do have the right to tell people to stop interfering with legitimate situation that might come up during a protest or during a public gathering of people. However, recording the police at a safe distance is always protected, and it's always your right to protect and monitor what the police departments are doing in order to file a complaint later on if necessary.